rock star worldwide. It's time for DC Live, an insightful, entertaining look into all aspects of the music industry. You'll never hear music the same way again. Now here's your host, producer, songwriter, musician, and former Air Supply and Eddie Money bassist, Don Cromwell.
Say what? Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Welcome to DC Live, September 30, 2014. Hard to believe it's almost October tomorrow. Larry Dog's in the house as always. Yeah, he's howling at the moon. And my very special guest in studio here from Alaska via Newport Beach, Bedford, Mass, all over, the Alaskan Angel. I love it. I love it. Janie Lidey. What's going on, Janie?
Hey, I'm just so happy that you asked me to be here.
Yeah, well, I met Janie at an event, Craig Duswell's Rockstar Systems for Success, I think they still call it. Yeah. Craig, we love you. You know that.
The amazing Craig Duswell.
Yeah, and I met you there at the bar during a little break, and mutual friends, Tim Gillette, says, hey, you got to meet this girl. She sings good. Checked you out. Man, I loved your voice, loved your songs, and here you are.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're still, how long, you live in Anchorage. We'll get into all that stuff in a minute, but how much longer are you here in California?
I fly to Denver tomorrow for the Durango Song Expo.
Oh, wow. Oh, you know what? I've heard about those.
Yeah.
Durango Song Festival. All right. Well, speaking of songs, you know, I like to get straight into it. You got guitar in hand, microphone in front of you. You're going to start off with a song called Leap of Faith, but there's a story behind it. I know.
Yeah. So Leap of Faith, I would like to say, was completely inspired by my husband, Sean. I had been teaching for 27 years, and I came home one day, and it had been happening for a while. I was having a shift inside of me, but I came home one day, and I said, honey, you know, I think I'm supposed to step out of my classroom and make the world my classroom. And yeah, after 27 years, I was making pretty good salary, and
sure.
and I could retire early, but it wouldn't be a huge retirement. But I thought, God, if I've got 4 albums that I've never done anything with because I never have time to do, you know, I'm working with my kids. And he could have freaked on me, you know. He really could have freaked and gone, nope, you got to keep your day job. But instead he went out the next day and he found this painting. And it was a really long, beautiful piece of artwork with 2 sheer cliffs. And there's a mountain goat leaping off one side, hanging in midair, surely would fall to its death, were it to fall. And at the bottom, it just says faith. And it was just absolutely him giving me permission to take that leap of faith and do what I love.
Incredible. Yeah, now, is Sean listening tonight?
I think he is. Hey, baby.
Well, hey, baby. Sean. Sean, that's a great story, man. All right, I love it. A Leap of Faith, Janie Lidey.
If I had no fear, if there was only love, I'd do all the things that I've been dreaming of. And if I had no doubt, if all I had was time, I would climb the highest mountain I could climb. And I'd take the leap of faith that I always wanted to. I'd spread my wings and fly the way that I was meant to do. I would be strong enough to call my own bluff and make all the dreams that matter come true. I'm gonna take the leap of faith. Take the leap of faith. If I were not afraid, I wouldn't have a care, and I'd do all the things that I never dared. If there were no regrets, no future and no past, I would live each day as if it were my last. And I'd take the leap of faith that I always wanted to. I would spread my wings and fly the way that I was meant to do. I would be strong enough to call my own never dared to reach before, and I'm gonna do it all without a single fear. I'll take the leap of faith that I always wanted to. I'll spread my wings and fly the way that I was meant to do. I'm gonna be strong enough to call my own bluff and make all the dreams that matter come true. I'm gonna take the leap of faith. I'm gonna take the leap of faith. I'm gonna take the leap of faith. I'm gonna take the leap of faith.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes you just got to jump off that mountain.
You do, absolutely.
Living up in Anchorage, I bet you've got a lot of big mountains up there.
Yes, we do. In fact, I've paraglided off of them.
Oh, wow.
Pretty amazing.
I didn't hear that in that last conversation we had. Paragliding. Man. So you go for it, huh?
Yeah, I've only done it once, but it was absolutely a blast.
Yeah, so you do it again?
I would, but you know what? It would have to be... I always said after my son was born, you know, until he's older, I don't think I want to leap off like that. And,
Yeah.
You know.
Right. All right, so the leap of faith, I mean, you're taking it right now. You're out doing your thing.
I am.
Durango Song Festival, coming up tomorrow, or you're heading to Denver tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you've been in and out of Nashville lately. Tell us about that. I know some good things are going on, and people are meeting you, and you're meeting people.
Yeah. Well, when I retired, my husband said, honey, you know what? Just go to Nashville and act as if, you know, just go and meet people and, you know, hang out, listen to music, play your music. And so I went and I met some amazing people. And I think because I wasn't, you know, 22 years old trying to make it big.
Sure.
I was, you know, 48 years old, and I was just really wanting to have conversations with
29.
older people instead of my students, who I loved for 27 years.
Yeah.
Nothing against you guys. I love you, love you, love you. But I wanted to have some, you know, just some different relations. And so I had an open heart. And I think that was seen because for whatever reason, I got invited to write with John Carter Cash and with Wesley Orbison and Sarah Pizal, who is just amazing songwriter, singer. Actually, she's the best singer I think I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, doors opened and I had these beautiful relationships and co-writes, and it's been amazing. I just recorded my album there too with a guy named Matt Wilder, who's just a phenomenal producer and good friend now.
Nice. Well, and that's what Nashville is, a welcoming community.
It is.
We've talked about that on this show many times, and there's so much talent there, all ages. But you're right. You go there unassuming, just, hey, let's see what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
That can work really to your benefit. And when you, excuse me, when you put that together with a real talent, true talent, which you have, good things can happen.
Well, and I got to shout out to Skip Franklin, because he's the guy who really took me under his wing and, you know, kind of introduced me to it. Yay, Skip.
Skipper.
Hope you're listening, Skip.
Shout out to Skip. Is Skip's a Nashville guy?
Say again.
He's a Nashville guy?
He is. He's actually from this area, though. I think he grew up in Newport Beach area.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, you've been hanging in Newport Beach. Not a bad place to hang out.
Not at all. I'm lucky that my sister Chris and her husband Dave live in Newport Beach and welcome me into their amazing home every time I come down, and feed me their really amazing wine from their cellar.
Oh, nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nice. Woo! Well, and you know, I mean, again, it sounds like life is good for you. That's the bottom line. I like it. I can see it in your smile. I can feel it in your energy.
Yes.
And it was funny because, as I say, I went down to support Craig and meet some people, the radio guys, the Suburban Cowboys, Eddie V, and Dave Pratt were both at Craig's event, and I had not met them since we started doing the show under their banner of the Double Wide Network. And, you know, one thing begats another, quite frankly. You know, hey, let's networking. It's part of the music business now.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get down there and grovel around and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, these songs that you recorded in Nashville, you used like some top players. I know we talked about that.
Yeah. Well, so Skip introduced me to Matt Wilder, and Matt was great because he's a songwriter himself. And he said, you know, Janie, these songs are fabulous, but he said, I really feel like I can bring them to another level.
Sure.
And I said, yeah, you know, I'm all for it. And I'm happy to share a co-write with you, you know, to do that. And so one of them was a duet, and it wasn't a duet yet, but I had written it for my husband. It's called I Don't Want to Go Slow.
Oh, good. We're going to play that then.
Yeah.
Coming up.
So basically, my husband he works on airplanes for a living, but he also loves to work on old cars, and he'll buy these classic cars, fix them up, and then sell them. But I always get at least one ride in it before he sells it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's very, very romantic and sexy.
Oh,
and so, whoops.
All right, now
not
we're
on
talking.
the air.
Forget the music.
Yeah. So anyway, this song came out. He loved it. He says, you got to record that one. So I told Matt, and I said, but I think it should be a duet. I said, who do you think, you know, we could get to do the demo with me? He says, well, Perry Coleman's the best. You know, I think we should give him a call. So Matt doesn't know that I've had Faith Hill on my dream board for years and years. And he calls Perry Coleman, and I don't know that Perry Coleman is Faith Hill's backup singer. And Perry says, well, I can't do the demo this week because I'm in Vegas with Tim and Faith, but I could do it next week. And so I actually flew home and flew back just to be able to do that. And he was the right guy for it. I love it.
Yeah, and you sent me the song before, and I love the song and the track. And you, as we've, again, a lot of this stuff we talk about because, you know, so much of the music scene of today is happening out in Nashville. It's not just a country sound. It's crossover. It's, you know, rock. It's pop. But there's a sound there with great musicians cutting great tracks.
Yes.
So let's cut into it. My DJ. Right. This is I Don't Want to Go Slow.
Yeah. For you, Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Woohoo. Things are looking good for you, Sean.
I woke up 6 a.m. Had no place to go, so I had a cup of coffee and listened to the radio. But when I turned that stereo on, they were playing our favorite song. And suddenly I couldn't get to you fast enough. 'Cause baby, with you, I don't wanna go slow. I just wanna lose control. I don't wanna think twice. I just wanna be by your side. You make me wanna speed up. You make me wanna fly so high. So drive me like a fast car, pedal to the metal, and take me for a ride. 'Cause I don't wanna go slow.
Got on the freeway to go to work another day. Got stuck in the slow lane and turned the radio on. There it was, our favorite song. I wish you were riding along with me, so we could race on down that old back road. 'Cause baby, with you, I don't wanna go slow. I just wanna lose control. I don't wanna think twice. I just wanna be by your side. You make me wanna speed up. You make me wanna fly so high. So drive me like a fast car, pedal to the metal, and take me for a ride. 'Cause I don't wanna go slow. Kiss me harder, love me stronger than you think you should. Hold me tighter, take me deeper than you thought you could. 'Cause I don't wanna go slow. I just wanna lose control. I don't wanna think twice. I just wanna be by your side. You make me wanna speed up.
was that the roller coaster there at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
Wow, Lair Dog.
Still going, man.
And then Lair Dog
Woo, I
pulling
had
out the
to
big
wave
lighter on that
going,
one, man.
Yeah,
Swaying back and forth. Man, what are you, back to
I
20 years old over there?
Goose pimples on my arm
Goosebumps and all that kind. No, but you can see that's the Nashville touch. Real clean and well played, well produced.
And that, I don't know if you noticed the fiddle in that, but
Of course I
the
did.
fiddle,
Great.
that was Janae Fleener, and she tours with Blake Shelton, and she is I think when she was born, the fiddle was already like attached.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's not fiddling around, I'll tell you. Hey.
Tip your way
She's no fiddler on the roof. No, but I will say, I mean, there's the sound. As I said, I know that
Sweet.
been in and out of Nashville many, many times, and they know how to record, they know how to cut a song, and they know how to get to the essence of a song.
Yes.
And boy, cool, man. That's a great track.
Thank you.
So I mean, you could hear anybody singing that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go slow.
Yeah.
Lair Dog, you want to go slow?
No, man. Let's pick
Dog's
it up a bit.
he's
No,
ready
I'm
to
sorry.
rumble.
No, that was beautiful.
Now, you wrote that.
Yes.
Okay. When did you write that?
It was probably about 3 years ago, and so on this album cover here that you've got in the studio, the blue one.
Oh,
the blue one. Turn it over. That's my husband's '69 Mach 1.
okay.
So that kind of is where the song probably originated, and every car he buys and sells, he normally fixes up and sells them. And this one, we can't seem to let go.
Okay,
so
good.
We can only drive it 3 or 4 months of the year up there, but we're hanging on to that baby because it's his favorite.
Now, so is he getting all these cars up in Alaska, or is he all over?
Yeah, he gets in
Wow.
Alaska, and the biggest thing is looking for something that's not a rust bucket, because a lot of the things that have been up there have been sitting outside in the snow for
Snowmobile.
20, 30.
Hey, Sean, I got a 67.5 Datsun 2000 low windshield Roadster.
Good. Looking good.
I don't know, man. For the right price, I'd let it go. I'm thinking of calling Jay Leno, man, because Jay Leno's garage, he's got like a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
And I read that his very first car was a Datsun 1600 Roadster.
Get him down. Get him.
The one in that driveway there, undercover. Janie.
Oh, I saw the cover as I came in. I was wondering, Sean would have gone over and ripped the cover off to look under.
Well, you've passed the audition, so I might show you the car.
Awesome.
But he would know what it is. Probably it's pretty rare car. It's a fun car, but so you got a supportive husband, which is number one.
Oh, yeah.
Number one, because
The best.
you're following your dreams and you're taking a leap of faith,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. The music, if it's in your blood and it's in your soul, you can't deny that.
That's right. That's
And
right.
now, when you're up in Alaska, you got a little studio in your house, or how do you record your songs?
Well, I've done a bunch of albums up there in a professional studio with a guy named Kurt Riemann, and but in my house I have we built a log home about 13 years ago. And the loft has just it's open. You can see Mount McKinley. You can see Mount Susitna. It's just beautiful. And so I have an area up there where I do a lot of my writing, and I have one of those Korg 8-track, and then I'm doing a lot on my laptop lately.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get it rolling.
A lot of
and
people
even
are.
the cell phone, just to
Yeah.
get the idea down.
Right. You just don't want to forget those
Yes.
ideas.
Yes.
I know. I mean, technology has come so far, but again, familiar theme. It all comes down to the song,
Yeah.
melody and lyric.
Yep.
That's what counts.
Yep.
Whether you're recording it, I still use a cassette in here, a little push button cassette. If an idea hits me real quickly, and I don't want to forget, I just hit that button.
Yeah.
And you see all the cassettes still flying around here. Any young people listening, they're going to cassette? What's that?
Yeah. Oh, well, I can beat that. So yesterday morning, I was leaving the Bay Area after doing a couple of concerts, and Jerry Manoogian, who used to live up the street from me, he's a doctor now, he had Facebooked me and said, Janie, if you're coming to Los Altos, you need to come by my office. I have something for you. So yesterday morning, I went to his office, and he pulls out a box with an old reel. And in the box is a list that I wrote in my handwriting when I was like 14 or 15 years old of 7 songs that I had written at that point. And he recorded me in his basement or garage. I don't even really remember it. I mean, I sort of do. Anyway, I can't wait to get home and figure out who's got a reel-to-reel thing that I can put this
Ransom.
on and
He's going to
figure it-
ransom note on. He's,
Right. He's saying if you want to decode this, you have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
So what is it, 1/4-inch tape or?
Yeah, it's just the little.
So that's 1/4-inch tape.
Yeah.
So you know what? You got to bake it.
We can make you a deal.
You got to bake the tape because it has so much residue on it. And that's what you got to
Oh,
do.
so bake it before you.
Hey, dude, wake and
Do you know
bake.
how to do that?
Do I?
Dang, I should have just.
That's
going to
cost you off the air. No, I don't. Seriously, that's
Okay.
but it's old tape. That old, you want to get it in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing.
Okay.
Because it can ruin the tape and
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, listen, that's what we all did, man. We tapes. I mean, again, I still have. So one of the biggest bummers, I love my car, but it doesn't have a cassette player. And kids are going cassettes.
I know.
But I have so many good ideas and bits and bobs that are still on cassette.
I know. My husband and I this summer bought a RevCon. It's an old Ford. It's a 4-wheel drive camper. There's only a few of them made. They're space age.
This is
looking.
getting more interesting all the time.
But anyway, we were heading out to go camping one day, and I took the RevCon, and my son Tristan, who's 14 now, and our dog, and Sean took the truck with the trailer, with the 4-wheelers and all that stuff. And so we're cruising, and I was so excited because this old thing has a cassette player. And so I got a box full of all my cassettes, and I get in, and I'm like, yeah, it was just a blast.
Man, wow. I mean, that's what so now, I mean, it's a music show, but I'm fascinated by the car thing. I mean, so, sorry. Hey, Sean.
Honey, I hope you're listening.
Sean, man.
Because this is all about you.
Yeah, well, but I am, though. But so how many of those types of cars are up in Alaska, I guess is my question.
Well, the RevCon, there were only 2, and he found both of them and bought the other one and then sold it.
I see.
And then bought this one, and we still have it. But
And so what is he putting ads out there that, I'm looking for this, or he just has network?
You know what? He just has a little magical wand. I think he waves and things show up, and he goes and looks at them, and if they feel right, he gets them.
Yeah, stuff works.
Yeah.
No, it's
Don't goof it up.
no, right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, right.
All right. Now, so you play guitar and sing. Do you play any other instruments?
I play the piano. I had to play the piano. 27 years of teaching choir. You've got to sit and play parts while you're singing the soprano part, you're playing the alto part, and you're doing something else for the tenors, and it's crazy. So the piano was my tool for that.
I don't want to go slow. Did you write that on piano?
I did not. I wrote it on guitar.
Okay, it's curious because I hear that little great progression that's kind of takes you to that melody.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
All right. Now, again, it's a music show, but we talk about anything and anything we want. When we first met, you told me you used to get sledded into your schools. I mean, it's a fascinating story about you teaching up in
yes.
Anchorage in Alaska.
Yeah.
Tell our audience about it.
Yeah. Well, so I graduated from Pacific Lutheran University in December of 1984. Yeah, it would have to be 84. Holy moly, it's hard to remember anymore. I could have taken a long-term sub job in Seattle, teaching choir to junior high and high school. Or I had a choice to take a job in Quigilingok, Alaska, which is outside of Bethel. No running water. I think they were just starting to maybe get television. 200 people in the village, no cars, fly-in only, kind of cold in the winter. But my choir director came to me and said, you love adventure and you love hiking and you love skiing. You should look at this job. And he said, if you want it, you have it. I've already recommended you. And so I was like, yeah. So I went home. I flew from San Francisco to Seattle to Anchorage. Planes kept getting smaller. Anchorage to Bethel.
Yep.
And then a little Cessna from Bethel to
You're shooting out.
Yeah.
Soon you come.
Yeah, into Quigilingok, out of the Cessna, onto a dog sled, pulled by a snow machine, out to my village housing. And
Wow.
it was the start of 3 years of absolutely amazing journeys through.
Too bad you were just ahead of the reality shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
You would be a reality reality show.
That would have been
You
killer.
would be the Alaskan Angel getting, trucked out to your new school. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but what an experience. And you were saying the kids, a lot of them did not speak English.
Some of them didn't, and they were so loving. I think I may have gotten eaten alive had I gone straight to a city high school, which is where I ended up in Anchorage. I was 17 years at a school with 2,400 students and over 45 languages spoken, and I loved it. It was a dream job. But starting out in the villages, Native Alaskan culture is amazing. The people are so full of kindness and gentleness and very warm and welcoming. And I made so many friends, and I became a better teacher,
Sure.
in those first 3 years doing that, and then went into the city and started out there.
Well, I've been to Alaska, having lived in Seattle for 5 years back in, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the 70s. We used to, part of the circuit, Anchorage. I've played Kodiak, Alaska.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
hear that's a blast. I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
I had a baked Alaska once.
Woo! Yeah, but I was in Kodiak in the wintertime, and it was 6 weeks because it cost so much to fly the gear up there that you had to do 6 weeks at a time. And Kodiak was a bit rough back then.
Yeah.
I mean, woo.
And probably 40 below.
Oh, I mean, listen, and it was, I forget the opposite of the land of the midnight sun. This was the land of no sun.
Yeah.
It would come up like 2 hours a day, and it would be when we were sleeping.
Well,
so
and-
it was always dark, and man, very depressing.
Yeah. In Barrow, where I worked on the very top of the North Slope.
Yeah, Barrow, sure.
Kodiak.
It didn't come up at all. So and when it did first come up, it was a sliver long enough to, take a sip of a tequila sunrise.
I was going to say, of what?
No,
Come on, man.
they were dry up there. So,
Oh, really?
So really, it was just orange juice.
Oh, Barrow's dry?
Yes.
Wow. Why is it dry? Because there's a problem?
Yeah,
Right. The
they-
natives have a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah, they don't need to have alcohol in the village. It's,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think it's healthier.
I think Anchorage has one of it did way back then, really high alcoholism rate and real problems up there. So you guys live in Anchorage now, and you're going to continue to live there?
We love it there. And our son is in 9th grade.
Oh, gotcha.
And he was just accepted into a school, an alternative. It's called King Career Center. And what it is a school where you can go take some unusual classes. So he goes to his core classes at Service High School in the morning. Then he goes to King Career Center. And he's actually taking a 2-hour class every day on film, audio, and visual technique. It's just amazing. Learning all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
He's really into that. And, and so it's fun that he got in and is able to actually study that. So we'll be there at least until I think we'll be there forever. It's
Yeah.
our home. We love
Right.
it.
And you
But-
built a log home. I'm sure it's beautiful.
Yeah. But I love to cross country skis, and we have the trails right next to our house. So I think that what we would love, and I'm just going to put this out there because
Throw it
it's
out.
on our dream board, and everything on our dream board comes true.
Put it on your dream board. I like it.
Yeah, we're going to have a place down here, maybe with some horses, and or maybe on the beach. I grew up with horses, so I kind of miss that.
Have a carousel on the beach.
Oh, that would be right.
Well, you are the Alaskan Angel.
Yeah, Alaskan Angel.
I like it. Well, and you were saying you might brand that name. I like it.
You should.
Hold on,
Yes.
Alaskan Angel.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
something
All right,
going on there.
I love it. You just put your hands on the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
We're about ready for a new song.
Okay. Well,
Another
so,
song.
So since we've been
Talk to us.
talking so much about Alaska, I think that I should share an Alaskan song. We fish a lot. So Sean and Tristan and our dog, we have a beautiful yellow lab named Beaver. We go out fishing on our boat in Prince William Sound. And one day we're fishing. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, and I look over and my husband's sitting there with his lightweight, titanium rod and 2-speed reel, and I'm there with like a 1959 halibut rod that weighs a ton, and I'm like thinking there's something wrong with this picture, and he says, well, so sweetie, what do you think you want for our 10-year anniversary? And he's thinking diamonds or pearls, I'm sure, and I'm like, heck no, I want a new rod and reel.
You go, girl.
We'd been together for almost 10 years, filled with laughter and loving and just a few tears. Well, my baby asked me what I wanted for our 10. My answer made him fall for me all over again. See, most girls want diamonds or freshwater pearls, and I just ain't one of them girly girls. What I want is made of titanium and steel. Baby, I want a new riding wheel. When we got to 15, he asked me again what'd make me happy like I was at our 10. And I said my waders were leaking, and so could he buy me some new ones, and off we would go. You see, most girls want diamonds or freshwater pearls, and I just ain't one of them girly girls. What I want is made of titanium and steel. Baby, I want a new riding wheel. When we got to 20, he looked me in the eye, said, I guess that it's time again to go out and buy. He asked me what I really wanted a lot. I said, baby, I think I've earned a yacht, so that we could go fishing and use them old boots and the rod that you gave me when mine went kaput. And right then he led me outside our back door, and there was my new fishing boat just sitting on the shore. You see, most girls want diamonds or freshwater pearls, and I just ain't one of them girly girls. What I want is made of titanium and steel. Baby, I want a new riding wheel. Baby, I want a new riding wheel.
Oh, new rod and reel.
And I'll tell you what, I got one.
I bet.
Did you?
Yep, and it's awesome.
And
I started catching all the fish after that.
so he got the message.
Yeah, yep.
You're right
Sean,
again, sweetheart. Yeah, that's absolutely
We're going to
right.
throw you under the bus.
You're
Yeah.
right on it.
No. So you started, what do you mean you started catching all the fish?
Well, it was bizarre. Sorry, honey, to tell this
Sorry,
story, but
but
Yeah, come on.
But, so we would go out on
You
our
should
boat.
be like Joan Rivers, man. You use your husband, to,
Right,
to
right.
further
No.
yourself.
no,
Kick 'em around
no,
a
no,
little bit.
no.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
husbands.
right. So Sean and Tristan and our dog and I would go out on our boat. We had a 24-foot Hughes Craft, aluminum sided, real nice with a little sleeper in it. And so we'd go out to Prince William Sound, and the first thing we do is, put in our shrimp pots,
Get some bait.
down around 400, 500, 600 feet, and then we'd cruise out and we'd fish for the day and camp in a cove, and then fish some more the next day, and then come back and get our shrimp pots. Well, while we're fishing, I don't know what happened after I got that new reel. Every time we'd be out, fish on, oh, it's mom again. And I'd bring up, like a rockfish from 600 feet, and then, oh, fish on, oh, it's mom again, and bring up a halibut. Usually the halibut, though, I needed help with because they're kind of big.
Yeah.
I need a big, strong guy to help me with
Let's
that.
do it for the
Thanks,
hell.
Yeah, see, you still need a guy.
I still need
Sean,
my
you're
husband.
still in, baby. You're cool.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
doing good, man. Let her believe that. Keep letting her believe. Just like that, man. You're beautiful. Keep that up.
So anyway, yeah, it was. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome.
fun.
Well, and fishing, it's funny just listening to you talking your knowledge about all these things that are normally guy things. Not normally, but typically guy
Yes.
things. I had lunch today in the valley, and I was just by myself having lunch. I found myself in one of my favorite spots in the valley. And I heard this, she had to have been at least 80 years old, talking about football like the best, most knowledgeable fan. And she's going, oh, yeah, New England needs a new tight end. And I'm looking at her, and I almost went over the guy, man, what a lucky man you are.
Yes.
To have a wife. She was so knowledgeable. You know what I mean? She wasn't just talking
Well,
fluff.
Are you talking about at Craig's event?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about today.
Okay, because Craig has a couple of people that attend his event, and it is amazing. She wrote a book, and I'm sad to say that I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it. I will make this up to you. I promise. I will. The next time I'm on,
Yes.
I will know the name of your book, and I will introduce you because she's just amazing.
Amazing book lady.
In which way?
Well, because like you said that I sound like I'm talking like a guy, knowing all this stuff. She talks like she's a guy knowing all the stuff about football. It's pretty cool.
Right. Just your knowledge about fishing and cars, and obviously, and I can tell you and Sean have a great relationship.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, and kind of the same thing, is I was just sitting there, and this lady, they were kind of, at a table, maybe 6 feet from me, but all of a sudden she just started, New England needs a new tight end. The Raiders just fired their coach today, dog. But I'm a sports guy. Everybody knows that. Not everybody. Anybody who listens to the show and knows me. But I'm just saying, it's so nice when you have a partner who you can share all that stuff with.
It is,
and that you love to fish, and and you're catching more than Sean or your son.
Sorry, Tristan.
Who cleans?
Yeah, sorry, Tristan. Now, so Tristan, any music vibe in Tristan?
Oh yeah,
come
he's got a beautiful voice. He plays a little guitar. He plays a little piano. He's been in a couple of musicals, and now he's really interested in film. And I think I can see him almost even on the producer side. He's great with people. He's always just been absolutely a conversationalist. Like, even as a small child, people would say, he's talking to me as though he were a really old soul.
Yeah.
He's just really got...
And there is that thing of an old soul, that's for sure. And now, when will you see your family again?
I will be home on Sunday.
All right.
So luckily, I've only been away
Get
for
that van out,
2.5
Sean.
weeks. Oh, yeah.
Only 2.5.
Get the van out. Oh, or did he sell it?
No.
He's saving it for that ride. Yeah, baby. I won't go any further than that. All right. But now let's talk about your inspiration for writing. What, as a songwriter, we all have things that just trigger a song. Do you just sit down, or is it a song title? Is it a subject? You hear somebody say something? Or
it's so many of all of the above. When I was 12 and I got my first guitar, I hadn't taken any lessons, so I used to go sit in my backyard, and my horse was kind of up on the hill in the backyard, and I remember I knew an A, a D, and an E, and I remember I wrote a song
And the truth.
about my horse. My horse's name is Copper Bar, and it was, a 3-chord song, and from there on, it just really came naturally. I think that was what God put me on earth to do.
Horse was like,
yeah, right.
Beautiful. I love that.
But the inspiration comes from memories of where I grew up. It comes from, the love that I feel for my family.
Yeah.
Experiences that I had with my students. And, I'm kind of the peace, love, and happiness,
Why not?
chick. My husband and my son, they're like, Mom, what do you want for Christmas this year? I'm like, you know what? I want peace, love, and happiness. And Tristan's like, Mom, what do you want for Christmas this year? And finally, after several years,
Right. The old man's like, good. I like that answer.
he ended up putting together 3 boxes, and one of them just said peace, one said love, and one said happiness.
Sweet.
And so now when we make our Christmas lists, the first thing on the top of their lists is peace, love, and happiness.
Very
See?
But they still need the material
nice.
gifts too. Sorry to throw you under the bus, guys.
And hey, Christmas is coming up already.
It is.
I think I was at Costco 2 months ago, and I'm already seeing Halloween and Christmas
I
stuff.
know, it's
but
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy.
All right. So let's play this track off your other CD.
Sure.
Song called "Love at First Sight." Let's talk about that.
So when I was in Santa Cruz one year before I met my husband, it was 1997. I randomly ran into a woman in a laundry room who decided to tell me all these things about myself. Thank God she didn't tell me how or when I was going to die, because everything else came true. But in the process of that conversation, she said, "You're going to meet the man of your dreams in the spring of 1998, and right now it's the fall or the summer of 97. She said, he's going to look like a movie star, and he does.
Oh,
And there's something about the number 8 that is magical. Remember the number 8, and it's going to be in the spring of 98, and you are going to have a baby with him when you turn 38. So I go home after that, and several of the other things she said did come true. Like I was supposed to write about angels, and I wrote this angel song that has been huge in healing
Alaskan
people.
angel?
And so March 8th, 1998, I'm a avid downhill skier, and I go alone to Alaska, which is about an hour up the road. I never go alone, but, I always would just pack my fanny pack with my lunch and drink and whatever. I would never even stop. I'd just eat on the chair and whatever. And that day, I decided I was going to do it alone. Well, I get up there at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, you know what? I am going to the lodge. I'm having a beer. I'm listening to the guitar player. I'm changing things up a bit. So I go in there, and this guy who looks like a movie star,
Mr. Wonderful,
stands up and walks across the room at the Sitzmark Lounge. And I mean, my jaw dropped. I hadn't really looked at a guy or dated a guy for a long time after a breakup, and I just wanted to be married again. I didn't want to go through the process of dating.
Sure.
So I'm not thinking right now that it's March 8th, 1998. But it is. And not only is it March 8th, 1998, and remember the 8 is significant, Sean's birthday, the guy that, is at the table, is March 5th and mine's March 13th. That's 8 days apart. Sean is turning 28 and I'm turning 36.
Wow.
And that's 8 years apart.
Yeah.
And
You still have your skis on.
yeah, well, and 3 days after I turned 38, our son Tristan was born on March 16th, which is 2 times 8. Isn't that the best?
Man, holy cow! This is a lot for a man to grasp here. Wow,
That is crazy.
I'm just looking for G, D, E minor, man. And
Yeah, right. Well,
Whoa.
so this is Love at First Sight, and this is one of those songs
Man.
that I came home one day and it just came out. I didn't write it; it wrote itself.
So you robbed the cradle a little bit.
I did. I did. But you know what? When I retired, I was 48, and I told my husband, I'm not going to be getting up at 4:45 to go to work anymore. I'm
either.
going to get 8 hours sleep a night. I'm not going to have 150 kids all day.
Right. Gourmet
I said,
food.
I'm going to go a year younger each year. And you're going to be going a
Bingo.
year older. So this year we both turned 44, and
Genius.
that's double eights. And
Genius.
guess what?
What?
This is going to be the most
Oh, my
miraculous miracle year ever.
I'm on board with
Holy
it.
cow, man!
I love that.
I'm fired up tonight.
Give me
All right, Love at First Sight.
When I
Janie,
think about the
Lidey.
day we met, and I fell outside my safety net. Oh, baby, I just can't forget the way you looked at me. It was in the spring of '98, and you asked me on a date. I didn't answer right away, but baby, I couldn't wait. And I think that I could see stars shooting across the sky when you kissed me goodbye that night. And I think that maybe this might be considered the all-time biggest case of love at first sight. I remember when you picked me up and you pulled up in your big red truck. Well, baby, I just can't forget the way I looked at you. It was about 8:15. My daddy said, now girl, you don't be late. And I could see him standing at the gate as we drove away. And I think that I could see stars shooting across the sky when you kissed me goodbye that night. And I think that maybe this might be considered the all-time biggest case of love at first sight.
Well, I think that I could see stars shooting across the sky when I kissed her goodbye tonight. And I think that maybe this might be considered the all-time biggest case of love at first sight.
I think that I could see stars shooting across the sky when you kiss me goodbye that night. And I think that maybe this might be considered the all-time biggest case of love at first sight. And I think that I could see stars shooting across the sky when you kiss me goodbye that night. And I think that maybe this might be considered the all-time biggest case of love at first sight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Holy wow. So, who's that guy in there?
That is Ken.
Who is that guy?
Okay, so that's Ken Pelletier, and Ken Pelletier is an Alaskan musician. Plays in a band called the Ken Pelletier Band. He's a cancer survivor and represents a lot of the cancer folk by singing at events and helping raise money.
Nice.
He sings at Eddie's Bar and Grill every Friday and Saturday night. He tours with some pretty amazing people. He's got some pretty amazing connections. He's also in my video. So any of you out there, if you haven't seen my Good Bad Girl video, JanieLidey.com, you can check that out. And Ken Pelletier is also in that.
All right, Ken, big shout out. Hopefully you're listening. And congratulations on everything.
Good
How do
guy.
I see that again? What do
So
I
we
do?
got a caller. We've got the number one fan, they say. You have Janie's number one fan on line one. Here you go. Let's see if I did this right. Are you there, number one fan?
I am.
Oh, I recognize that voice.
Yes, you should. Woohoo! You sound great.
Oh, thank you.
It's all yours, darling. And I'm sorry, what's your first name?
My name is Carol.
Carol. Hi, Carol. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Northern California, where I just spent a weekend with Janie at a couple of house concerts. She rocked it.
Cool.
Out moments, and it was so cool to have her here.
Yeah. Doesn't she do a good job? I really, you know what? From the heart. Good music, from the heart.
She's the most amazing storyteller I've ever met, and her music is rising to the occasion. Every time I hear her, she just gets better and better and better.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? Carol did sit there in the room that night and say, oh my God, you just had a breakout moment. And I did. I had one of those moments where something happened that's never happened before. So thank you for being my number one fan.
With a title like that, there's a lot to live up to, Carol.
It really is. But you know what, Sweetie Pie, I gotta go. I've got to work, but I wanted to call in and tell you I love you. I love your music, and keep on rocking it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
Love ya.
We appreciate you calling in. Thanks.
All right, you bet. Bye-bye.
All right. Boom. There we go. Hey, I'm no Howard Stern on here, but
That was pretty smooth.
nice.
Not bad. Way to go, Eddie V, man. Hey, flawless. Once he told me to turn off the power saver on my computer. We had but that's live. You know what? That's live radio. That's live performing.
Yeah.
We just did a 2-day festival here at the local church. I volunteered to put the entertainment together, and there's some glitches, and I can always tell the performers that, go with the flow, because stuff happens, man.
Yeah.
I've been on the biggest stages in the world where, the lights go out or the bass amp drops out, you just got to go, man.
Yeah. Or like me, after I told my my guitarist one year to make sure that he wrote the key for all the songs. And then we started a song and it was really bad. And I stopped about, three bars in. And I said, I forgot my capo, didn't I? And he goes, yep.
Yep. Yeah. I was doing a gig a while back, and guy came in, a separate person from the artist, came up to play a few songs, and we were all reading charts. And right at the top of the chart, it said something like capo on 3rd fret. And so this guy comes up, and we're all doing our thing, and it's not right. It's just bloody frickin' awful. And I said, I tapped him on the singer he's playing guitar too, and I said, capo on the 3rd fret. And he goes, he didn't have it. So, but you know what? That's music, man. You just never know. Mm-hmm. And when you're out there, putting your talent out there, you just don't know. And it's, anytime you expose your art to the public, you're going to get people that love it, people that hate it. And of course, in today's social media world, there's going to be, people going, hey, that really sucks. Where did this person doesn't know it? Well, yeah, but it could just be somebody wanting to be mean and spiteful.
Yeah. But the greatest thing of all is that when your audience knows you're authentic, and you're the first person to laugh at yourself and go, whoops, capo's on the wrong fret.
Right, exactly.
They end up laughing with you, not at you.
That's
for the most part.
Well, they've been laughing at me. Yeah. No, but I mean, I think of Bloopers, and I remember as a young musician really starting out, and some guy gave me he said, never let the audience know you made a mistake. Mm-hmm. But musicians have a tendency to make a face or to look at everybody and kind of laugh. But in general, if you hit a wrong chord, or as a bass player, you hit a wrong note, most people don't notice.
Yeah, right.
Most people. But you think they do because you want it to be perfect.
Yes, exactly.
But you sing and perform well live, and
oh, thank you.
That's a real gift.
Thank you.
You got a lot of gifts going on, it sounds like.
Well, I just love life, and I love
you do, and your energy shows
it. Yeah, it's fun to. I think vibrations that come from music, really kind of lift us up, and if I can spread some joy and some peace and love and happiness through the vibration that I'm creating, I'm all for that, and I'm very appreciative that you let me do that today.
Oh, yeah, no, it's awesome. And I've said it many times on the show, I have such mixed emotions about Facebook. I mean, it's great, and so many things, there's so many silly things, but some of the cutest, most inspirational music videos are watching these young babies, one less than a year old maybe. Lair Dog, your own beautiful little grandson.
Rocks, he knows what he's doing.
They'll be sitting there kind of morose and kind of crying, and all of a sudden a song comes on that they recognize, or a beat, and they just come alive.
Yeah, my niece is
the power of music. I mean, there was one video on YouTube that just comes to mind. I have no idea who it is, but it was a young baby in a car seat. I guess the parents, now with, knowing anything can be posted, they must train a camera on them. But this baby was like miserable, and all of a sudden, I forget, it was
Power of Love.
I forget what the song that came on, but the minute the song came on, this baby was like, "Oh my God!" I mean, it was like, it knew it.
Yeah.
And the facial expressions, and they started dancing, and they moved to the beat. And Major Boo, Larry's beautiful grandson, came on, and he's the same way. Of course, his daddy's a musician, and he's got the thing, man. And he moves to the beat.
Yeah, he does.
How old is he now, Larry? How old is Major now?
Turn 1 this month.
Yeah, so 1 year old.
That's awesome.
It's the power of music,
man. It is. Yeah.
And it is the power of music going way, 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 way back. The memories that it brings people, the way, and your lyrics are so heartfelt and down home. I mean, that's what you feel.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Yeah. All right. I'd see. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hey.
Hello?
You got a car for sale?
Hey, I know that laugh.
Yeah, baby. Sean's on the line, man. Thanks for calling in, Sean.
That's awesome.
Into the program, and I love those songs.
Yeah, you should love those songs. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's great weather. It's cold. It's getting cold. It's sunny, though. It's been sunny for past 3 days, so that's great. Love that.
Dang, I love you.
Yeah. Hey.
I didn't know you were going to call. This is fun.
Oh, man. I feel like this is kind of Match.com, but you've already hooked up.
Yeah.
Darn it. Hey,
Crazy.
Hey.
But yeah, I mean, it's, gosh, it just sounds so great. I'm listening to it through my computer, through the Apple TV.
Thanks, honey.
And in our stereo system, and it just sounds awesome.
thanks. It's the power of the internet, isn't it? A trip, Sean?
In Alaska.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, here you are in Anchorage. I mean, and again, I give credit to Craig Duswalt for pushing me to do a show. He says, Donnie, DC, you got to do a radio show with all the people you know and the music. Blah, 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 blah. But the more I do it, the more I love it. And of course, Janie's story about you and your family is so uplifting, and how you've supported her. The photo of the ram jumping off the two cliffs, man. That really sets it off, man. For you to let her do her thing at this point is an incredible leap of faith on your part.
Yeah.
It is. It's absolutely amazing, and it's so neat. The opportunity that anybody has in the world to be able to do whatever they want, and a lot of people just don't. They don't take that leap, and it is hard to jump, and that's what it's all about. And, nobody's going to come up and hand anything to you. You got to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do. Now, so Sean, forget about your wife for a minute.
Catch a fish or something.
Tell me about the Mustangs and all that stuff you got. So where do you find all those cars up there, man? How do you just go underground, or you got a little network going on, or what?
No, something that's been intriguing for a long time is, when they brought the pipeline through Alaska.
Yeah, I remember well.
Okay, well, all those people that worked that pipeline and got it going through made huge amounts of money.
Yep.
Well, everything that was, in the huge amounts of money side of things were cars. Well, all the big block, Mopars, all the big block Mustangs, a lot of those cars came to Alaska. Well, they didn't make it out of here, and so a lot of them fit.
Oh,
there you go.
Many big block, muscle cars up here. It's just absolutely amazing. And when you come across them, some people take care of them. Some people just let them sit, and they just rot away on property, nobody owns.
Right.
So, what do? You're out camping, you're out looking, and, I've found a lot of these cars, up north, between Fairbanks and Anchorage.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
They're just sitting in lots full of other cars.
Right.
And there are some really rare cars up here, and you do have to put a little bit of work into them to get them going. But, it's about just bringing something back to life again and seeing it. I wasn't born back then, and, but I sure do feel it when you sit in it and you grab a hold of that steering wheel and you listen to it.
Yeah.
It takes you back.
Yeah. Now, do you do the work yourself, or do you have a team that brings everything back to life?
Pretty much, I do as much as I can, and when we get to the, the final stages of paint or something like that, we'll have it painted, just because it's kind of caustic. But it's anything metal, fuel, oil, anything mechanical is pretty easy to bring back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of the rust and stuff like that. So
outstanding, man. And did you hear about do you know what my Roadster is? The 67.5 low windshield Roadster Datsun?
Yeah, I've seen those before. They are rare.
They are.
I'll take a picture of it if he lets me.
Yeah, she earned a picture. I'll let her.
Cool.
But anyway, I mean, I'm no collector, but that sounds like a good little groove you got going up there, and you built a beautiful log home, and Anchorage is a great town. I've been. I mean, you guys. I used to play the Holiday Inn. I don't think it's there anymore. I really don't. I played it back in the 70s, and the Holiday Inn. And I remember I played Juneau, Alaska, when the height of the pipeline. And these guys would come in on their days off flush with cash, and they would ring the bell. There was like a little dinner bell, and they'd go bing, 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 and they would buy one guy would buy the entire place a round of drinks. They were so flush with cash and nothing to do with it. So that was a crazy time, man. But listen, very cool to see, the inspiration that you've provided for your wife and vice versa, and the life that you guys have created. And I just wish you both. I don't even know what to do now, Larry.
Woo, I don't know. All right, let's have another
Love
song.
you, honey.
Oh, well, yeah, awesome. Sean, anything you want to say about your wife or life in general, man? It's your time.
Well, I have watched her grow, and for quite a long time, and I really have a strong feeling that you are where you're supposed to be. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and I love you so much, and I just want you to know that you're loved and you're happy.
Wow.
I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Wow, there's a song right there.
Yeah.
We might write it right now. Hey, Sean, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
It's in one of the songs on that
Oh,
album.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry.
no, don't be sorry. I'm going to write another song and call it the title.
Yeah. Found a
Don't worry.
Camaro.
Thank you for the inspiration, Sean.
Yeah.
But Sean, really, man, that's cool. I mean, really, it's everybody in this room is happily
put a
married,
price tag on that.
and it's great when you find the right person, and it's even better as I'll say it on the air. I met my wife in '78. We married in '88. 10 years, and I'm so lucky and fortunate she stayed and stuck with me. But as we approached getting married, she said, let's write a list of the 10 most important things to you right now. And I remember, and I'll always remember, number one, the ability to be yourself. And you're letting your wife be herself. And I already know she's letting you be yourself.
Yeah.
And as a result, I can tell you got a great life, man, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I mean it. Final words of wisdom from you before we...
I love you, mass.
All right.
Massive amounts. See you, babe.
Wow. Thanks, Sean, man. I really appreciate it, and I know she does too. And she already said the words romantic. Quit getting rid of those cars so quickly. More things could happen.
Yeah.
Okay, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. I really appreciate it. Okay, take care. Yeah, I like that.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was really, I was such a surprise. I didn't know he was going to
Yeah, well, hey.
Yay.
And he's listening. I mean,
DC Live, mate.
like you say, we're live across the world.
All the way
All right,
to
so,
Alaska.
wow, and I love it. This is the beauty of the show, and my boy's back in Phoenix. We can go a little bit over, but let's do one more song, and that's going to take us out.
Cool. I'm going to do a song about where I grew up.
Okay.
In Massachusetts, and I'll shorten it a little since we're kind of
No, don't shorten it. But when you're done at the end, just give me a little groove without vocal and play soft, and
Okay,
that'll
cool.
take us out.
All
Wicked.
right, awesome, and
Wicked.
thank you so much for having me, and thank you to Craig Duswalt
Yep.
and Tim Gillette and his wife for introducing me to
Yep,
you.
you bet.
Awesome.
Take it away.
Where I grew up was a little street in a little town where the houses all were lined up in a row. Where I grew up, my daddy went to work each day, and Mama turned our lives into a home. Where I grew up, Saturdays the air filled with the smell of fresh cut grass, and children's voices laughing across the yard. Sundays you could count on everybody dressing up and going to church to spend their day with God. Where I grew up, where I grew up, where I grew up. Right there on the corners where the barber used to be. He knew all of us by name. He was a real good friend to me. The butcher and the baker right next to the general store. I miss them even if their groceries cost a little more. Where I grew up, that little world has come and gone. Before you know it, life moves on. It's not like everything was ever perfect in the past, but these days things are changing just a little bit too fast. There weren't as many fences up dividing us back then. I wish I could go running back again. Where I grew up, where I grew up, where I grew up, where I grew up.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to DC Live. We appreciate our audience so much. Janie Lidey, www.janielidey.com, and that's JANIELIDEY.com. She's on Facebook. Come and do a town near you. I love it, man. I love the love that I feel from you, your husband, your family, your situation. A leap of faith. Lair Dog, thanks as always. Lair Dog's in the house. Rockstar Worldwide, Craig Duswalt. We've given you a lot of shout outs tonight, buddy.
Yeah.
But you deserve it. The Suburban Cowboys back in Phoenix, the Double Wide Network. Dave, Rob, Josh, Eddie V on the house tonight. Josh must be tending to that little newborn of his. We appreciate it. Double Wide Network. And as always, the biggest shout out to our troops, past, present, and future, the ones that really take care of us, allow us to be free and do what we do. Right, Janie?
Yeah. God bless you.
God bless all your students, past, present, and future too, man. You're still teaching. You're just still teaching in a different way. I love the love. Eddie V, getting ready to take us out. Thank you, everybody. Again, DC Live. We appreciate it so much. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Thank you for listening to DC Live with producer, songwriter, musician, and former Air Supply and Eddie Money bassist, Don Cromwell.